Hey, what's up, dudes? Before we get started today, I just want you to know that I've been fasting, so no food, no water, and no caffeine today. So my energy might be a little bit different. But hey, bear with me. I'm going to do my best to offer you entertaining, informative ways to be the strongest version of yourself, right? And we begin with our buddy Samir. And Samir says that he happens to be a handsome-looking dude. He also has the gift of gab. He knows how to plant a joke to open a woman up and open relationships. And although he can engage with beautiful women and sustain a month, 2 months, 3 months of a relationship, he can't seem to find a way to stay in love. He says he falls out of love. He can't figure it out. All these women are great, but each time I engage with them, a few months later, I'm waiting. I'm counting down because the feeling's going to go away, and what was once a roaring flame becomes a smoldering ember. And he wonders how he will ever make it in a long-term relationship because he would like to have one, just doesn't know how to make this thing happen. So, good. Hey, I'm happy that you came to me, right? Because I've been having sex with the same woman since I was 14 years old, right? Oh man, yesterday was crazy. Yesterday we dropped off the kids at camp, and usually she goes and she does her work, and I'll come to the gym. But we had a little date, and we met back at the house. Right? It was like a little sneaky little thing. We turned on some music. We had a damn good time, me and my lady. Right? Pounding after 21 years. So I'll tell you how we keep that flame roaring. Because it's rip roaring, man. I can't keep my hands off her ass. It's because when you first fall in love, and this is interesting, I've said this before, that analogy of falling into love, head over heels, meaning your head is no longer over your center of gravity. When your head is over your base of support, your center of gravity, right? Center of gravity over your base of support, that means you've got your wherewithal, you've got your cognition, you're analytical, you're logistic, you are aware in this linear sense. But when you are head over heels, meaning you're tipping back, you're getting swept off your feet. And when you get swept off your feet, what happens? You fly and float up into the air until, you can only float for so long. What goes up must come down. So you get swept off your feet and bang, you hit the floor. And then you wake up and you have to dust yourself off, get up, and the same thing's happening to her. Now you gotta look at each other. You look each other up and down, and you're like, damn, now I gotta deal with you, right? Because you weren't in love with that person at the time. You were in love with the feeling of being in love. You were in love with the feeling of falling in love. Because when you fall, it's so euphoric, because there is just you float into the ecstasy of life, right? There's no grounding there. Grounding is so boring. Here you're floating. You're in the clouds. You know when they say someone's in love, it's like they're in the clouds. You're floating. That's a good feeling, right? That's the feeling of orgasm. That's why we like sex so much. Because as you're orgasming, there's this floating feeling. You let go of your grounding, right? Then you get up, and guys, we know this one, right? You get up, you put your clothes on, and you're like, what did I do? Oh shit, right? Once that all passes, that's the acute version of it, right? You're talking a 3, 4, 5 month version of it. This is going to sound strange, and I hope you can follow. I hope you understand the wisdom of what I'm about to share with you. Clearly it works in my life, and I'm going to put my foot down and say that it's a principle, because it damn right is a principle. Because you can apply this to your business, you can apply this to school, you can apply this to your artwork, you can apply this to absolutely everything that you become excited about in the beginning, but slowly starts to fade. Take notice of the things you do when you're excited. See, there's a science to this, right? Because you're completely spontaneous when you get kicked off your feet. You're swept off your feet and you don't know what's going on, man. You got feelings in your belly, you got feelings in your legs. Sometimes I've had this happen. The feelings in your legs actually buckle. Women know this. You can't even stand on your legs. Oh, you're so in love. Your heart, all this spontaneous shit is happening. Right? You do things, you touch her in certain ways, you smile at her in certain ways, you hold her hand, you call her, you think about her, you text her, you look at her pictures on Facebook and Instagram. You're doing all these fucking things, but you're not having to think about doing them. They're spontaneous, right? You've been swept away, and the brilliant spontaneity of your body, your intuition, your passion and compassion of the heart carries you to enact these particular behaviors. Be mindful. Keep a journal. When you fall in love next time, keep a journal. What'd you do today? Start being scientific about it. Jot that shit down, right? Today I got up in the morning and I thought about her. And then I started rubbing my lower belly and grabbing my balls. And then I called her. And then I looked at a picture of her. Oh, and I got up and I brushed my teeth. And then I heard a song, and this song was the first song we listened to when we met, and it was in my car. All that dumb shit, write it down, motherfucker. Take note. Because when it no longer happens spontaneously, and it won't happen spontaneously forever, you will now have to do those things to maintain the feeling, maintain the fire. It's the kindling of the fire. See, right now when you fall, the fire just goes boom, whoosh. Right? It's like someone threw gasoline on it. It's roaring and out of control. You're out of fucking control when you fall in love. Right? That's what it's been said. Don't trust a man who's fallen in love. Don't trust someone when they're in love. They're out of their minds. But now that the fire has cooled, go back to that journal and all the things you did, because to do the thing also creates the power. I often say this. This is a Ralph Waldo Emerson. Do the thing to have the power. You do falling in love to keep falling in love. I keep touching my wife's ass because that's what people in love do. And the more I do it, the more I like it. And the more we fall in love. And the more I want to be in love. And the more I want to touch her ass. I can't keep my hands off of her. It's one of those things we do. We also send nasty text messages about what I'm going to do to you when I get home. Right? That's what we do. I'm a bit older. Right? So we sext. I think you guys probably do it through private Instagram messages and send pictures and shit. Whatever it is that you do, whatever nasty little fucking thing you do it again and do it again. See, 3 months when the fire has dwindled, you gotta throw a log on the flame. You gotta throw some logs on it. So you go back to your journal and you do the things that you did when it was spontaneous, but now you have the discipline to do it. You can't be lazy about love. Love is discipline also. You do the things that keep recreating the fire, that keep keep the wood on the fire. You got to put wood on that motherfucking fire. That fire is going to go out. And there are those of you who are completely fooled. You're tricked. TV and movies have lied to you. Disney has tricked you into this one. That it should be easy to fall. Like falling in love should just remain easy. You fall and should stay fallen. You're going to get back up. You're going to dust yourself off and you're going to look at her and you're going to have to face this person. You don't stay fallen in love. Nobody stays fallen. That's the most foolish thing in the world, to think that, we fell in love 40 years ago and it has never ceased. It never ceased because you still keep doing the shit that people who fall in love do. That's how you maintain the fire, right? It's a deliberate spontaneity. You're deliberately doing the things that are spontaneous, and that spontaneity that spontaneity and deliberateness have to go together. You deliberately do things that keep you spontaneously in love. Like I say, I deliberately grab my wife's ass so I can spontaneously get an erection. You got to do the things. Don't wait for the energy to carry you, right? Don't wait for love to carry you anymore. Once you've gotten back on your feet, you're going to get back on your feet. Don't wait for love to carry your hands back to her ass. Don't wait for your fingers to carry you back to text messaging sexy photos and messages. Don't wait for yourself to be carried into thinking about how beautiful she is. I dream about my wife. 2 nights ago I had a dream about my wife. I embarrassed the shit out of her through these videos. I don't even embarrass her. But boy, we were getting freaky in our dreams. And the woman is laying right next to me. I could roll over and do what I'm thinking about in my dream with her. Spontaneity. You see, the dreams are spontaneous because I deliberately grab her ass when we're walking. We stand up. I like to grab her ass mostly when I'm standing up. When we lay down, then it's like, well, Now we're doing spontaneous shit. When I'm being deliberate, hand right on her booty. So that's it, man. You know, of course I'm ranting. I'm going on and on because I'm spacey right now, fasting and stuff, and I'm enjoying this conversation. But look, if you're falling out of love, that's fine, but it's your job to rekindle that fire. We all fall out of love, but do you want to stay out of love, or do you enjoy? We enjoy the feeling of being in love. It's a joyful feeling. It's a great feeling. You want to maintain this. Don't be lazy about love. Throw some logs on the fire, grab her ass, send her a sex message, and you'll be fucking her 40 years from now like you did today. Done.